reaching high, snatch the light out from the sky. Leafy sighs, creaking bones, pray you don't get found alone. Crickly crack, the branches pop, it grows the night that never stops. The tree that leans with twisted grin, her limbs are thrown, her soul is sin. Underneath the crooked moon stalks the king on cloven hoof, in pale decay and empty gloom. He comes for you. Six horns his crown, his kingdom all, for life delicious heed his call. He carries six of sword and seal, once wayward souls the fallen kneel. Run, run, don't shrink and cower, and join us at the witching hour. Skip and sing, thrashing light to smother the shrieks of endless night. Dance beneath the crooked moon, and rising rapture hand in hand, from pale decay and empty gloom, we'll comfort you. May our light embrace you too, and pierce the edge of midnight soon, through wakest blaze and ashen gloom, the crooked
Get ready with Dyson, using our patented technology. Dry curl and
What's wrong, little one? Aren't you having fun? It's Halloween night to scream and run. Getting bags full of candy, store some now will come in handy. Take my hand before we see the sun.
Happy Halloween, my friend, do you see the corn maze? I think I lost my head in there, you could get stuck for days. I may be full of hay, but I've got lots to say. I'd love to give a little tour, so don't mind if I may. At the ghostly mansion, we just use it for one night. Everyone knows where it is, oh boy what a sight. You'd think that everybody here would want to eat you just for fear, but we are delighted to see a human here.
Well, what do I smell? A little perfume in the air. A little girl with longish, cute, dark, waving, glowing hair. Do you like to rock or roll in the mud? Stick with me and I'll be your bud. It's a grand celebration where all the scary things come in. Let's howl in the moon tonight. On Halloween, it's good to get fright. That's why we're all here. Come on, gang, give it a cheer.
Hip, hip, hooray! The time of monsters is today. We celebrate with Scares Delight, and we like it that way. October 31st, our favorite day, and it's the worst. Here at the Ghostly Mansion, it's our time and it's cursed.
Who is this princess now? Bringing all the good candy. Oh wow, I should introduce myself. I am the good witch. Hop on my broom now, hun, and give it a little kick. You can fly through the air, what a sight. You'll see the rats, but they won't bite. You can meet my sister, she can be a little mean, but I think you'll come to like her once you see.
Hi, I'm the witch of the night and the life of the party. I'll conjure up a spell for you, you get one for free. So what's your wish? What do you want to be? A wizard, a witch, or maybe a queen? I'm not a genie, he's over there. But as a good-looking witch, I love your hair. Let's enjoy the party, girls. It's our time, let's give it a whirl. Hip, hip, hooray. The time of monsters is today. We celebrate with Scares Delight, and we like it that way. October 31st, our favorite day, and it's the worst. Here at the Ghostly Mansion, it's our time and it's cursed.
D1 to D4, over.
Go for D4.
Mansion is clear. What's your 20? Over.
Wrapping up at Fairytale Hall. Wait, why at the mansion? I thought you were front of park today. Over.
I am. I was at the mansion all night for the install of the villain's room. Over.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. How is it? Over.
It's fine. It's just a bunch of pictures of moody bad guys. Over.
Come on, man. You know what they say? Evil queens are just princesses that were never saved. Over.
I'm pretty sure they're just bad guys.
D1. D1, you there? D1, do you copy?
Yeah, I'm here. See you in a few. Over now.
Shattered dreams and broken glass and pieces on the floor. Reflections of what used to be and who I was before. An uphill climb to reach the top. Don't say what's wrong or right. 'Cause now I see your view of me and it's only black or white. Don't you tell me who I'm meant to be. 'Cause mirror, mirror, I like what I see. Call me the villain, my story's been written. I don't want to fit in this world you're living in. So you can hate me, but you'll never break me. What I am, you make me. So now you can just call me the villain. White horse hero enemy, who said you could decide? You think you got the best of me, you think it's justified. It all comes down to what you see, and all I see is red. It's too late to negotiate, so it's off with your head. Don't you tell me who I'm meant to be. 'Cause mirror, mirror, I like what I see. Call me the villain, my story's been written. I don't want to fit in this world you're living in. So you can hate me, but you'll never break me. What I am, you make me. So now you can just call me the villain. See what you wanna see. Bring out the worst in me. Save your apology. 'Cause look who's sorry now. Call me the bad guy, fine. Now I'm the bad guy. Bet you never wonder why we don't see eye to eye. Call me the villain, my story's been written. I don't want to fit in this world you're living in. So you can hate me, but you'll never break me. What I am, you make me. So now you can just call me the villain. You just made me the villain.
I need a vacation.
Call me the villain, my story's been written. I don't want to fit in this world you're living in. So you can hate me, but you'll never break me. What I am, you make me. So now you can just call
that last and produce that lasts longer.
Say what you will about old movies, this one still freaks me out.
Seriously, this gave me nightmares. Looks like your sister's braver than both of us were.
That wasn't scary.
Nothing scares her. Except maybe not having Wi-Fi.
It's a historic Halloween night here in Salem, Massachusetts, as for the first time ever, the streets are empty. Per the governor's orders, no trick-or-treating, no Halloween parties, no haunted houses, nothing. It's safe to say, it's dead out here.
This is the worst Halloween ever. I love trick-or-treating.
Right?
Aren't you a little old to go trick-or-treating?
You're never too old for Halloween. Besides, free candy.
Begging strangers for candy and culturally insensitive costumes is a boomer thing, not mine. And don't get me started on these slasher movies where some dumb blonde gets over-sexualized in a male-dominated industry. No wonder we don't have a female president yet.
I think it's time we go. Thanks for having us over.
Ooh, you better be careful walking home. There's a full moon.
Oh, perfect. We could take the shortcut through the graveyard. Bye, Jen.
Night. Happy Halloween.
You're walking home alone at night and feel like someone's creeping up behind. You turn around, there's no one there, and tell yourself it's only in your mind. Oh no. Then out of the night comes a shrill that sends chills down your spine. Your heartbeat starts racing, chasing you, you're out of time. Oh. So if you're sitting alone, don't you pick up the phone, 'cause there's a stranger on the other side, and things that go bump in the night. You hear a sound, don't go poking around just for a second, it's too late, 'cause there's things that go bump in the night. Don't run and hide, 'cause you're safer inside. So lock the door, they're coming for you. Things that go bump in the night. Things that go bump in the night. Things that go bump in the night. The full moon rises, hide the wind is still. You feel the terror in the air. There's someone up that's watching and you wanna scream, but only if you dare. Don't you dare. There's no one around and the sound makes your knees start to shake. Your mind tells you run, but you're done for, 'cause now it's too late. So if you're sitting alone, don't you pick up the phone, 'cause there's a stranger on the other side, and things that go bump in the night. You hear a sound, don't go poking around just for a second, it's too late, 'cause there's things that go bump in the night. Don't run and hide, 'cause you're safer inside. So lock the door, they're coming for you. Things that go bump in the night. Things that go bump in the night. There's a chill in the air, so you better beware. There's things that go bump and will give you a scare. So if you're sitting alone, don't you pick up the phone, 'cause there's a stranger on the other side, and things that go bump in the night. If you hear a sound, don't go poking around
one simple but brilliant trick to heat your home in 90 seconds and save thousands of dollars on your heating bill this
Hey kids! Sorry about that back there. My friends and I just got a little carried away. We just wanted to say thank you.
Your friends.
I know! With friends like them, who needs enemies?
Thank us for what?
For coming out this Halloween. With everyone staying inside this year, we thought this Halloween was gonna be a big bust. Eyes up here, Brad. As my way of saying thanks, I got you kids a little something. A little treat. And a little trick. People love it for the articles. Well, all right, kids. Until next time, unpleasant Halloween.
Hello, Trish viewers! Action Winsong here, or researching news stories and dreaming of dreams, and I would like to apologize first for how late the stream is tonight. Let's just say that things are really starting to get wonky, especially since now that Halloween is literally tomorrow. So, happy Halloween, since I'm obviously not streaming tomorrow. Though, the other thing I'm going to be apologizing for is actually what the title is, because I don't know if I'm even going to get to a game, and I do have an idea if I have enough time for it. I am actually going to be editing the darn Reviewing the Web video that I technically started 3 or 4 years ago, and let's face it, this thing is way overdue. Like, way overdue. To the point where I even, I'm even adding notes at certain points. I mean, not many of them, maybe 2 or 3, but it needs to be in there. Let's leave it at that. And now that this app is acting wonky again, seriously, what the heck is going on that it keeps disconnecting? Because I don't want to, okay, there we go. Because I don't want to keep dealing with this, and though for all I know, it might also be because of location in the house, since we all know that depending on where our routers are or whatever, connection could be hit and miss for certain aspects. Though thankfully, this time I was able to connect. But yeah, I am, as I said, going to be trying to finish this dopey thing, since literally I have just one section left to basically edit. Though it's really more for the voiceover, since at the time, I didn't exactly script everything. I mean, I was just literally saying what was coming into my head and all. And because of that, there was a lot of awkward pauses. So obviously I gotta delete those, as well as any moments where I had to re-say or change something. And I also have to figure out the live action portion for that particular section. Then afterwards, and this is going to take a long while, I kid you not, because the audio is actually over 10 minutes long, and I have to, no matter what, try to shorten that thanks to all the awkward pauses and mistakes. I also have to figure out where to set up the subject of the audio. I mean, at the time and even right now, I already have an idea, since at least sound-wise, I'm just gonna have a particular song be playing in the background while the rest of the clips, let's call them that, are actually gonna be muted. So this way, it's just a song playing. And trust me, there's a reason it's gonna be just a song, since it's actually tied into well, was essentially the number one pick, which, funny enough, is pretty much the one section I never got done with. Well, that and at least two of the previous sections, though thankfully I got those done. And even the honorable mention, which was one of the two, that only needed the picture, since, well, there are readings on YouTube somewhere by at least two people, as far as I know, actually. It's really just a fanfic that, to this day, remains as one of my most favorites. But, well, anyway, I don't think I need to keep yabbering. I mean, while I keep yabbering, I might as well just get to it. So, do this, so this way you guys see that instead, and boom. Let's see if that worked. And I probably should have had some water now that I think about it. Okay, good. It did work. And as you can see, I already started on it, and trust me, it is a lot. I mean, the video itself is practically nearly an hour. That's how into this I was, and still is. I mean, even though hopefully this won't happen again, because I am hoping to bring the series back, and I do mean hopefully. Probably starting with a revamp of the very first episode, since, let's face it, that was really messy. I mean, I had a script technically, but I was practically reading it on camera. Which will be another thing, since, well, anyway, might as well get to this, because I kid you not, this needs to get done. And while I got all this taken care of, even a little note here saying AKA 2009 or 2020, which is one of the 2 years that I started on this, because even I can't remember when I started this dopey thing. I literally got around 10 minutes more to do. And I do mean around 10 minutes. And as I said, there's been a lot of awkward pauses, and I gotta figure out where to put the live section of this part of the top 20 thing. So yeah, and hopefully doing this editing during the stream will help me to stay focused, because that's the other problem that I keep running into lately. And I do mean lately, because it feels like part of me is afraid to finish. I wish I knew why. It is what it is. So let's just actually get to it. And also, so that you know, I will also be going, when I hopefully finish this completely, I can also readjust the voiceover or the clips, since let's just say that my voice is drowned out apparently by everything else. So yeah, I gotta at least make sure whoever watches this video on my YouTube channel, they're not gonna have problems hearing me. What the? Oh, for goodness, I must have clicked on it by mistake. Because sometimes for this program, if you click on a video that you're going to use, it ends up playing it instead of what you're editing. It's a cool feature, but at the same time, not exactly needed right now.
Librarian who would tell stories to the little foals and
Ah, so I said that twice. I'm gonna raise the volume a bit because I do need to actually hear myself.
A librarian who would tell stories to the...
Oop. Alright, let's hope I got it.
To the little foals.
Okay.
To the little foals.
Okay. Gonna remove all that, if it'll let me. Here we go. Boom. And here we go.
Stories to the little foals. discovers her strange yet dangerous power when she inadvertently.
Yeah, you see what I mean? I got weird pauses in between each sentences, if not in the middle.
She inadvertently.
Huh. Must be the heat. Okay. Could you folks give me a moment? I want to check something real quick. Be right back. If it'll let me. Of course, it's starting this again. I kid you not. Well, either way, I'm gonna check on something. Be right back. And I'm back. Sorry. It was the heater. I keep forgetting that the thing will restart the moment it gets cold again. Then again, I'm concerned that went through so long without it during the summer. I guess I should have gotten used to that. And now the stupid app works. Pfft. And I forgot I did that for the chat section. Oh well, either way, at least everything's working out. I hope. Anyway, let's get back to this, because I kid you not, this does need to get done at least before tomorrow. Because at least while I'm doing everything else, maybe... Well, actually, if I do get this done by tonight at least, I could probably at least still upload it, but have it set for a timer to actually go live or something tomorrow. I mean, apparently I've got that option, so why not? Anyway, let's get to this again.
Causes an incident with one of the foals.
Yeah, that part has always broken my heart. I mean, an accident, but concerning what's discovered later during the story, it's ends up being a bit terrifying.
One of the foals. And she does become... And because of this...
Yeah, you see what I mean? It's either awkward pauses or I jumble up my words. So, no matter what. Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be something that happens no matter what, but seriously, I gotta do these script things properly again. Especially if I want to do that revamp of the show.
And because of this, she becomes so afraid that she tries her best not to awaken that power again. Only...
Here we go.
Again.
Okay. Move and leave gap. Let's see. Well, at least it's getting there to an extent.
Again. Only later on, she ends up using it in the worst way possible against someone that she deeply
Against?
worst way possible against someone.
Okay. Wait. Shoot, did I goof up?
Someone that she deeply.
Whoops. A brief goof up, but at least it's an easy fix.
Someone that she.
Perfect.
Deeply.
There we go.
Someone that she deeply cares.
Whoops. Is that?
Against someone that.
I guess that's getting cut no matter what. Here we go. Whew. At least we're finally at the 44-minute mark, but still have another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, about close to 9 minutes to go.
Against someone she deeply cared for.
I know my dumb luck. Come on, there we go.
And later on in the story, there we
go. And boom. Oop. Getting there. We are getting there.
And later on in the story, she becomes.
You know, the kid of it is, I have a feeling I went for this long in, let's face it, a pasture rant, because I kid you not, my number one pick is so immense that it doesn't even take just their side of the story. It also takes on the stories they tell, or at least the read aloud, since they're technically reading other people's fanfics, but it's something that would actually be fitting for their characters.
She becomes She becomes.
Okay. At least this time was a good reason to pause. Here we go. The killer is, too, is that each awkward pause is practically a few seconds. So I have to really make sure I know what I'm doing.
Becomes a rather legendary person, a rather legendary.
Just to make sure.
A rather legendary.
Okay, so that is supposed to be there. Remove and leave gap. Again, I really gotta relearn how to make scripts for these things.
A rather legendary mayor herself, as she tries to gather, as she wants, as she tries.
Okay, right about here. Cut. And about here. Let's leave that much space. Because I don't want to cut up too much of the pauses. I want to at least make it try to flow a bit. I mean, let's face it, it's still going to be close to an hour long, but at least this way it won't sound so awkward.
Self, as she wanders all over Equestria, telling rather gruesome stories.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is part of the plot of the story.
Equestria, telling.
Okay. You know, the kill of it is, I don't even remember what I said in the live action portion of this section. So hopefully I will come across the section of my audio, and I really hope I actually did say this, where I end up saying live section here or whatever. Because apparently I also did that, though I might have skipped it for another section, but I had a good reason for it.
Equestria, telling rather gruesome stories, while at the same.
Wait. Oh. There we go. And there goes the clock.
While at the same time using her dark gift.
Oh, I did say it was a dark gift, huh? Although it makes sense considering that it's a rather curious ability that isn't exactly touched up on too much, especially in modern stories. I mean, closest to it would probably be in, what was it, Inkheart? Because that's basically what it is, to an extent. She's just basically bringing something of her own storytelling to life, where instead of reading it aloud from a book, she's using the power of words. And I may have just revealed a very big plot point. Sorry. I mean, to be fair, the thing is several years old, so I guess it's somewhat okay. I think.
At the same time, using her dark gift to basically kill ponies.
Now, that awkward pause, I think I will keep in there, because it is pretty serious. Oh, whoa. I clicked on the wrong thing. Or maybe I did click on it right, it just did more than one, because if I don't, it's gonna cut everything in that section.
The second bit.
Now that's an awkward moment. Very big one. I'm gonna think of it. Just out of curiosity, because again, I want to make sure that I can get this section in. Oh wow. It's actually getting to the point where I'm almost... You know what? Let's take a look at what I say in here. Because apparently, I go off for over a minute on this section.
And I will admit, to an extent, especially if you remove certain elements to this fanfic, like you probably would for The Boy Who Cried Wolf, written by Inquisitor M, or at least their version of The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This story in itself is practically far more original, yet you're probably somewhat familiar then the other movies and stories are out there.
Oh, okay. I think I see where I was going with that line of thinking, because I wasn't kidding about this one either. I mean, lately nowadays, well, back then and to an extent nowadays, since it seems to have gotten only slightly better, seems that everybody in Hollywood is scrounging up at this point. It's like they're losing their imaginations. Or, heck, at least bother to read the materials of what their movie is based off of. Perfect example, a certain episode of Murder, She Wrote where she signed the right for a certain producer to bring her book to life, but turns out he was just after the title for something really, let's call it horrendous, at least in my opinion. And the kill of it is, let's face it, he was gonna go with based off of something. His career would have definitely been down the drain, because let's face it, fans would have gone in there to expect a Jessica Fletcher story. They would have gotten that trash. They would probably be demanding what was going on. Then she would explain what happened, and then they would probably tear apart his career. Because, let's face it, even nowadays, removing or adding certain aspect of the story into the film, I can maybe understand. But to remove everything except for the title, yeah, nah, that ain't gonna work. And I just realized that my little screen at this spot is blocking the, you know what? That's okay, because this may work out, because this will also work to cover up exactly what's going to be shown, to an extent. But at least for the most part, I have an idea of maybe when the live action portion is supposed to come in, because obviously at some point I talk about how the story itself seems to have a great deal of originality compared to other fanfics, so to speak. Oh, whoops. Would help if I unmute that. Whoops.
To basically kill ponies. The second video / story is actually told.
Oh. I think there's too much of a... just a little bit too much. Because, again, I want this to basically flow. And let's face it, with how much time I have left before tomorrow, obviously I'm not going to be able to go back to the rest. Especially since, let's face it, it would mean scrapping the whole thing and restarting, and I don't want to deal with that.
To basically kill ponies. The second video / story is actually told in the perspective of her beloved. It's actually told in the perspective.
Okay. Boom. Let's go lower because I can't see thanks to the letterings. And boom. And there we go.
Perspective of her the beloved.
Ooh. Apparently I did beloved twice, though it seems like I was jumbling up my words no matter what for that section. There we go.
In the perspective of the beloved she inadvertently hurt. And her.
There we go.
She inadvertently hurt.
At least it's getting there. At least it is getting there. It's actually getting to the point where I seem to be almost close to the halfway point of this audio, and then I can focus on adding the footage and the music, which again is only going to be the let's say their theme song, because while there's technically two of them, there's only one that actually probably fits. Although I probably could go for the second one. Well, I'll figure it out.
And her version of the story brings about a far different perspective.
There we go.
Brings about a...
You know what? Let's get rid of this pause too. But only a little bit of it. I mean, nothing. It, like I said, I wanted to actually flow. Like it's actually properly spoken. Here we go. And boom.
Brings about a far different perspective to what happened to the bull, as well as how curse word ended.
Oh, I really paused there, didn't I? Hey, buddy. As well as
to the bull, as well as...
Whoops.
Bull, as well as...
There we go. Make sure you're doing it right, buddy. Wow, this one was really... Wait. Oh, shoot! Thank God I noticed.
How curse...
I swear, I could have sworn I cut this section. But at least I caught that before it was really too late. I mean, it probably wasn't really too late, but at the same time, you never know. In fact, just in case, I am saving.
How curse word ended up finding now her strange...
Yeah, there are the several awkward pauses.
How curse word ended up...
There we go. And the cut here because... Oh. It would help if I moved that a bit.
Finding now...
Whoops.
Finding now...
And boom. Boom. Let's see how it sounds.
Word ended up finding now her strange gift and her strange and gift...
Whoops.
Now her strange gift and her strange and gift... Her strange and dangerous gift and...
Aha. That's where I got it right. Alright. Remove. Place here. And to make sure it's flowing correctly.
Finding now her strange and dangerous gift in the first place.
That is very true. Yeah, I went for a long pause again.
The next story.
Yep, there's that next story part. And I kid you not, they did this through the years. like really dedicated to do this through the years, specifically on Halloween, and the fact that they finally reached the climax, at least during the year that I did this, whew. Despite its gory and very strong language, at least in my opinion, was definitely worth it. Though I wouldn't recommend a kid listening and watching it. Yeah, definitely at least until they're maybe 16.
Dangerous gift in the first place. The next story.
Oh, yep, there's the not right. Here we go. That should do the trick. Because again, I want this to flow. Like, properly flow, as though I was doing this in all in one go. Which, honestly, never happens. I'm sure other professionals have gone through that problem. Here we go.
The next story is
Okay. Here we go.
Story is I was consider this as more of a prologue. As a mix between a prologue.
Uh-huh.
I was consider this as more. Consider this.
Okay, that should do the trick, I hope.
That's more of a.
Whoop. Let's put this here.
That's more of a.
Nope. In fact,
consider this.
You know what? Let's do it that way. Oop. Didn't click on it at first.
That's more of a prologue. As a mix.
There we go. And boom. We're getting there at least. We are getting there.
Consider this as a mix between a prologue and an intermission. And
yeah, at least I think cut it at the right point. I think. Let's see how that sounds first, though. Hey, what gives? There.
and an intermission story.
Intermission story? Which one am I talking about here?
Since it's basically.
You know, it's kind of sad that I can't even remember this stuff, so maybe tomorrow, when I'm alone, I'll actually rewatch the series again.
Since it's basically a little bit more of a.
Since obviously I need to cut it at that point.
Of a flash.
Wait, what? was really awkward at this point, wasn't I? Oh, boom. Boom. And here we go. Now to see how it all ties in. And that's if I didn't decide to redo that line.
It's basically a little bit more of a flash of a look into the look.
Yep, I did redo that line. This is why you always double check. And probably might as well. It's... ugh. But at least we're getting there.
A little bit more of a look into the beloved's past and what caused her to do.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about now.
And what caused her to.
I think I know what I'm talking about now, because the beloved side of the story, or at least her beginning, the proper one, yeah, this is where the heartbreak really comes in.
Do the things she.
Man, I was really trying to tell the story without giving away too much of the plot. Well, cause nothing. The stories are meant to be enjoyed by everyone, so why ruin the plot of it, or at least give away too much?
Caused her to do the things she did in the previous story, as well as
yep, there we go.
In the previous story.
There we go. And boom. Okay, 44, 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Actually, just about 7 or 8 minutes to go, so I really am making progress. Heck, if I actually get this done by, I'm gonna say, roughly 9:45, if not 10, then maybe I'll be able to do one quick game, because I do have something of a backup plan for if I actually get this done in time.
Story, as well as at least a little later on during Hearts and Hooves Day.
Ooh. There's a lot I'm forgetting about this story. I really do need to rewatch that.
The previous story, as well as at least a little later on during Hearts and Hooves Day. Hearts and Hooves Day.
Okay, now to see where it starts.
The next part of the story, the fourth part of the story.
Okay, this is why I didn't exactly cut yet. Although, that should do. Okay, now. Oh, okay, good. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all.
The fourth part of the story is, interestingly enough, told by the perspective of the foal's mother, who we of the foal's mother.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that particular story was a heck of a plot twist. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. If not in this review, then you're more than welcome to at least look up this series, because you'll see what I mean.
Of the foal's mother, who we learn in this story far more than what we were told. Far more.
And there we go.
This story far more than what we were told by the beloved, and I do mean far more, to the point where not only do we realize, do the viewers realize,
To the point where the viewers realize? Let me cut that out first.
to the point where not only do we realize,
Do. That's the word. As after do.
do we realize,
Okay, that has to be the right section.
we realize not only do we viewers realize what really happened the night the foal died.
Nope. There we go. This is going to take a while. Well, I mean, this is always going to take a while.
Not only do viewers realize what really happened the night the foal died, but that the law.
There we go. And boom.
What really happened the night the foal died, but that the lost narrator, aka curse word, is not the only monster.
Ooh. I forgot about that part. Yeah, I gotta give those guys credits too. They really knew how to put a real twist in the story. But that's the point of storytelling. You want your audience to really get into it and not expect something, well, like in this section of the story, to actually happen. Because, oh boy, did I end up being... Oh, somebody liked a comment I made. Because long story short, on a Discord server, there was a show of a week thing going on, and it was a character in certain costumes, or any Halloween costumes. But because I had other things to worry about, I couldn't even get to my usual thing, and I didn't even think to use the colored pencils again. But that's on me, so, oh well.
Narrator, aka curse word, not the only monster.
Oop. Not too much of a space of Oh, I think I see what I did. Because, again, I want this to really, really flow. Especially since I am going to be, let's face it, raise the volume on my voiceovers. Because I have noticed when I was basically reviewing what I did, my voice was drowned out. Like a lot.
AKA curse word, is not the only monster who now prowls Equestria. Not the only monster.
Okay, good.
That
should do it. We are getting there, at least. We are getting there.
Only monster who now prowls Equestria.
I should have said across Equestria, but oh well.
And then the last two...
Okay, now we're getting to the climax of the story. Because I kid you not, when I start to say here that it's a two-parter. And holy smokes, it had me on the edge of my seat when I first saw them.
Equestria. And then the last two parts... And then the last two parts of the...
You know what that should do? And boom.
And then the last two parts of the stories... And then the last two parts of the story / videos...
Ooh. Okay, so I did do that line again, but for a good reason, because to me, the best way to describe everything, whether it's a video or a voiceover or audio drama, is best to at least refer to them all as a story. Though in this case, it really is a story / video. Especially in this section, they, let's just say, really added quite a few scenes.
And then the last two parts of the story / videos, which is basically the conclusion of said series.
Of said series.
Basically the conclusion of said...
Okay. It looks like we're reaching the end of this so far. Though there is about, I think, 6 minutes of this audio left.
Of said series. Curse word and...
Here we go.
Series.
And boom.
Series. Curse word ends up confronting this...
Ends up.
Ends up...
Oops. That should do it.
Confronting this...
And there we go. Boom.
Confronting this...
Wait.
Ink dye. Curse word ends up fronting this...
Oops. I cut up too much. Yeah, I think I see where I accidentally cut off. I think. Just in case.
Confronting.
Good. Never hurts to double check. Oh. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty much close to 6 minutes to go. We are getting there.
Confronting this ink dye.
That was an awkward moment.
Confronting this.
Can't say if I actually redid that line or not, but
die.
Yeah, I kid you not, that was the third pony's name. Boy, before and after this story, she was a piece of work.
Die. This inky monster.
Oh. Okay, so I decided to change it to this inky monster, which actually makes sense.
Confronting this inky monster.
Whoops.
Confronting. This.
Okay. That was dumb luck that I even got it. At least it's getting there, though.
Confronting this inky monster.
Boom.
Confronting this inky monster. Curse word actually comes close. Curse word, not.
Wait, did I do the whole line again? Though it would probably make sense considering how many times I stumbled on that section.
Monster. Curse word not only finds her beloved, but ends up having to face off.
Oh.
Curse word ends up confronting.
Ooh, that's why I redid that. Okay, because that is actually what happens in the final chapter, so to speak. She does find her beloved, but she also faces off against the ink demon thing. Not related to Bendy and the ink machine.
Curse word not only finds her beloved, but ends up having to face off against this inky monster in order to save her.
There we go.
And the conclusion of the...
It's getting there. It is getting there.
Save her. And the conclusion of the story, oh boy, is it mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is. It's...
But again, I refuse.
Let's go a little closer so this way I know exactly where to cut off. And Boom? Because unfortunately, the title on the audio does block off a bit of it.
Again, I refuse to say any more to the
Here we go. Cut. Rewind a bit.
Refuse to say.
Cut. Remove and leave gap, and boom. Hoo hoo hoo. We really are getting to the 6-minute mark in this audio. Well, this portion of the review at least.
To say any more to the story since I do not want to spoil it to you. I do not want to spoil
Sense?
the story since I do.
That might be the right section. Might.
I do not want to spoil it to you.
Okay, that's actually perfect. Gotta admit, this is definitely progress. And the killer is, this was the whole reason why I wanted to do Twitch streams, because I figured this would help me to focus on the editing better. Just somehow ended up switching towards gaming, which I still enjoy to this day. But so far, this has been helping.
Story since I do not want to spoil it for you guys.
And here's hoping that in some section I did say live scene here. There we go.
You guys. Because as I said before, this series is so popular, even despite the fact that it's a grimdark story, that 2 songs, at least as of this year,
At least as of this year, which means... Oh, for goodness sakes. Whoops. Copy. Again, aka 2019 or 2020. Because that is pretty much true, even though I can't remember exactly which year I was starting this whole thing.
curse word not only...
Whoops. Wait, what?
The conclusion of said series, curse word not only finds her beloved, but ends up having to...
Oh, whoops. I clicked on the wrong spot. But you know what? At least, it's gonna be easy to figure out where I put it.
Because as I said before, this series is so popular, even despite the fact that it's a grimdark story. That 2 songs, at least as of this year...
Okay, that's the point where this comes up again. Because I have to get my point across.
We're actually...
And let us... FNAF animated. I'm gonna have to look that up eventually. Okay. Look closer again.
Here, we're actually...
Cut that.
We're actually... have been creative.
Whoops. Wait, what? Let me hear that whole thing first.
Two songs, at least as of this year, have been created for said series. The first one.
Ooh. Actually, now that I think about it, considering how long this is going, I'll probably have both of those songs playing in this. Because, again, with how long this is going, whew, might be enough to get both of them in here. Might be.
Have been created for said series.
There we go.
Said series. The first one being Reversion, which, interestingly enough, was at first an instrument.
And boom.
Which, interestingly enough, was at first an instrumental created by Miyuji, and at least on its own, is still beautiful. But then Magpie Pony lost narrator.
There we go. Cut and boom. And boom.
But then Magpie Pony lost narrators.
Whoops! I cut off too much. This is why, folks, you need to double check.
But then Magpie Pony.
Okay, that should be more than enough. With a little bit of a, hopefully, natural pause.
But then Magpie Pony lost narrator's wife and then girlfriend in the series.
Which is very true. And as far as I know, they're still happily married.
Girlfriend in the series. Girlfriend
I think I was trying to say at the time, but some reason decided on the words in this series, which technically isn't wrong, but at the same time isn't right.
And then girlfriend in the series added lyrics to the song. Girlfriend in the series.
Let me hear the whole thing.
Lost narrator's wife and then girlfriend in the series.
Okay, that's why I didn't do it like that. Because at the time, they were just dating, but then married.
Friend in the series added lyrics to the song, and oh my god, she made this song so beautiful and so fitting for said series that it still remains as one of my favorite. That it still remains as my.
Oops. Remains.
Still remains as.
Uh-huh. So around there, I believe. Okay.
As my as one.
There we go. And boom. In fact, how much time? Ooh. Oh, we are practically at the 4-minute mark. Though I still need to figure out where to put the live action portion, which I have a feeling I never actually considered when I was basically, let's face it, ranting at this point.
As one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah, and funny enough, it still is. Because sad as it is, it was beautifully done. Both music and lyrics-wise.
To this day. And the second song.
Uh-huh. And boom. So close to finishing this section. Then I could just random-ize the images while letting the music audio play in the background. Though I also have to, again, raise the volume on my voiceover since, again, you could barely hear my voice over the audio for the other stuff. And the killer is, I even lowered the volume on those sides, but let's face it, I probably have to raise my voice audio no matter what.
Day. And the second song that they've actually And the second song.
Oh, apparently I said second song twice. There we go.
To this day. And the second song that the Lost Narrator has actually uploaded as of this month.
I can hear rumblings in the background. Although we were warned about possible storms. Yeah, here's hoping though that tomorrow is gonna be nice. Cause not for none, I want to be able to wear my costume.
Has actually uploaded as of this month.
Which, one moment. Because I'm gonna have to do a little research bit again. And the app is acting wonky again. Figures. So I guess I'm gonna have to pull up. Yep, here we go. Let's do this. Don't get any ideas. Here we go. Because I funny enough found the playlist. Aha! Here we go. And I will be adding the links to all the things I reviewed, so to speak, in the description box when I get through it. Let's see. 3 years ago. Let's take a look.
So one of the reasons I really love this,
I
it
hate
has
these
so many different
commercials.
recipes. So I wanted to start off with the
Yeah, and forgive me for saying this, for those who do like HelloFresh. I just don't like the concept of having your pre-prepared meals brought to your door, especially since, depending on where you live, granted, this is just my perspective, you don't know if the food is actually going to last, especially since with how people tend to rob trucks like that, so yeah, that's another reason I hate that commercial. Oh, wow. I did not know they... Then again, I might have just forgotten about that. Let me see. Oh, they don't have, Oh, here it is! Ooh. As of this month. This was 2020. So, actually, before I do that, because I want to be able to, paste. There we go. Whoop. And at least it's good to actually get the date of when these videos came up, because nothing, I love that they add, well, I don't mind that they add the whole how long it's been since it's been uploaded, but I'd rather get the exact date, especially if anybody who wants to do research on these videos will be able to have a more accurate idea of when these videos were uploaded. And the thing's acting wonky again. Not the computer, the app. And failed to reconnect. Failed to reconnect. Ugh. I kid you not. I have never had this kind of problem before. Although, then again, considering that I've basically been booted out of my usual streaming spot, though for good reason, it's probably no wonder why. I mean, given how old this place is, it probably shouldn't even be that much of a surprise. As of... Oh, wait, duh. I can't even... Wait, could I do a copy and paste? Ooh. There we go. Perfect.
Actually uploaded as of this month, as of this year.
There we go. Apparently I briefly decided to redo that. What the... Sometimes that happens if you're accidentally clicking on it twice. So be prepared for that.
As of this year.
Alright, we're gonna cut at that point. Boom. 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 And how long before... We are getting there, at least. We are getting there.
This year is actually an original grimdark song known as Forever Lost.
Which is true, and it is pretty darn impressive. There's the awkward pause again.
Which is basically...
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically...
Okay, good. Not too much of an awkward pause. There we go. In fact, let's move over a bit. This is why you always double check. There we go. Hopefully I'll get to a section that says live scene here. And if not, I'm just gonna have to figure it out.
Which is basically a song based on the Tales of the Lost narrator series. And oh wow, this one is coming close to being at least one of my favorite dark one is coming close to being
because it is somewhat awkward.
At least it's one of my
go.
It's coming close to being at least one of my favorite darker songs.
And for good reason. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good songs today, but concerning some of the themes I grew up with since, like, classic fairy tales and things like that, I can appreciate certain melodies or song stories that actually have something of a darker side, especially if they're trying to teach the listener a good lesson. Case in point, Tale of the Three Brothers. Dopey as it is, especially considering that it was actually basically for the Harry Potter series, that is actually a good example of how a proper lesson story can actually be done. Stupid thing is still failing to reconnect. And I still don't know why. And there's the awkward pauses again.
With the lyrics written by...
Here we go. And so I know exactly... Oh, apparently this was really long. About 10 milliseconds long. Or 10 seconds long. Ugh, not milliseconds. Brain dead moment. But at least we got... Holy smokes. 3 minutes to go. Whew.
songs. With the lyrics written by Magpie Pony, because of course, if she's talented enough to create the lyrics for Reverse.
Don't want a brief awkward pause. And boom.
Because of course, if she's talented enough to create lyrics for Reversion, then of course she'd be talented enough for this one. She and Lost Narrator.
We are so close to getting this part of the stupid editing done.
She and Lost Narrator actually sing this song, while the instrumental was done by...
Cut. Remove and leave gap. And boom.
Sing this song, while the instrumental was done by James Sessions. By James Sessions instrumental.
Okay.
Instrumental was done
just in case.
By James Sessions.
Whoops.
Was done by James.
Aha. Hopefully I don't remove the rest of the audio again. Okay. Here goes.
Was done by James Sessions instrumental. And
alright. Out here. Leave gap. Boom.
Instrumental. And as I said before...
Whoops. I cut off too much. Again. Here we go. Let's hope that was better.
Instrumental. And as I said before, They do a phenomenal job in this song.
Good. Good, good, good. Come on. Oh, for goodness sakes. Stop that. In fact, save just in case, because you never know. Especially since I got maybe 2 minutes left? Wow, let's just hazard any guess.
That not only even if this would be considered as one of those story musical telling the tale of the lost narrator.
What the heck was I?
Phenomenal job in this song. That not only even if this would be considered as one of the
Oh, I see why I did it like that. I was collecting my thoughts several times. I mean, at least I assume that's what I was doing.
They do a phenomenal job in this song. That not only
Okay, that should be good. Here we go. And I have a feeling possibly after this full sentence is when I go live. I think.
that not only even if this would be considered as one of those story musical telling the as one of those story
Really was jumbling around, wasn't I? That's why I need to relearn how to do scripts.
even if this would be considered as one of those story musical telling the tale of the lost narrator. That even if you've never seen or heard this.
Okay, not quite, but I think I am getting there.
That even if you've never seen or heard this, the tale of the lost narrator.
Okay, boom. Because sometimes it's actually best to cut from where you need to cut it first and then go back to the beginning of the cut. Because otherwise you're going to end up with the title of the audio in place. Or at least blocking your line of sight.
If you've never seen or heard this, the Tale of the Lost Narrator series, the song in
I think I'm getting to that point where I had planned to put the live action portion. It's starting to sound like it, at least to me. Oh.
That even if...
Oh! Hey doing, Knight? Welcome to the stream, and... yeah, honestly, I'm hoping everything goes well, too, and, to be fair, my scheduling, so to speak, is wonky, so... Especially considering that usually I stop streaming at this point because I'm starting at 7:30, well... and that would be the coffee maker. It's an old version, long story. But yeah, tonight I am hopefully gonna get done editing this old video that I technically started somewhere between... Actually, this was done in... Since the song that I've just described here was from 2020, I guess I technically started this in 2020. Well, good to know that I actually made sure I knew the date, unintentionally. Yeah, and yeah, I get it. It's things most of us have to go to work, but it's a living.
If you've never seen or heard the Tale of the Lost Narrator series, the song in itself is a great way to at least get an idea of what the story is about.
Okay.
Of what the story is about.
Oh.
Of what the story is.
Okay, to get an idea. The word I have to stop at is at the end of idea.
To at least get an idea of.
Okay. Did I do it?
Of what the story is about.
Okay.
Idea of what the story is about.
Okay. Oh, there's a very long pause. I wonder if I did that on purpose because that's where I plan to put the live scene.
In short, while this, as I said, in short,
You know what? I'll remove this, but I ain't moving it towards the rest. Because unless I hear the words live scene here in another section, that I may put the live section of this part of the review in that spot. I don't think of it. Oh wow, I got a lot done. In fact, ooh, less than 2 minutes to go. And you know what? Since I'm actually starting to feel parched, let me take a very, very quick break, especially since I gotta check on my brother. I will be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I mean, I did say I was feeling parched, so... And I had to check on my brother. That was pretty important. Okay, now, back to this.
In short, as I have said before, this is more or less...
Oh, I did make that awkward pause because of... You know what? At least unless it said otherwise? Wait, what? Oh, sweet niblets. Oh, I hit the paste, not the... At least I caught that. Alright, let me drain this over. Okay. Bingo. Drain this over. Bingo. And just to make sure it's right. Yep, it's right. At least I was able to figure it out, especially with how long that pause was. Still, I must have thought I said live scene here and not realized it.
It might be good for all I know, but at the same time, think about that! In short, well, as I have said before, this is more or less a My Little Pony fanfic. This story...
There we go. And boom. Come on. Ah, that's why I hit the wrong button. My bad. Alright.
More or less a My Little Pony fanfic. This story in itself is not only quite original
Unless this is where it happens.
In itself is it's not only itself it's not.
Maybe it's after this Well, we'll find out eventually.
In itself is not only quite original in its concept and characters.
Its characters.
But the music and the...
Maybe it wasn't one section I was supposed to keep it in, because it looks like this thing is about to end. Which, probably might as well.
But the music and the imagery...
And there we go. 1 minute away. It is literally 1 minute away from this section of the review to be done.
It's practically perfect for when you want to... When you... Perfect.
There we go.
Practically perfect when you want to listen or read.
There we go. Boom.
Listen or read a rather horrifying tale in the middle of the night. Read a rather horrifying tale.
Like I was trying to... Okay. Boom.
Horrifying tales in the middle of the night during Halloween.
Which is very true. Again, I would recommend it more for adults than the kids. Unless...
It's rather perfect if you want to listen to it.
Wait, did I rethink on that?
Not read a rather horrifying, yet rather sad tale for this Halloween.
I guess I did.
It's rather perfect if you want...
Okay, it's rather perfect. Let's see where that gets cut off.
Original in its concept and characters, but the music and the imagery is practically perfect when you want to... But the music and the imagery is practically perfect when you want to listen...
Alright, I guess that answers that question.
Concepts and characters, but the music and the imagery, it's rather perfect.
Ooh. Slight awkward pause. Very slight. This is why we double check everything.
Imagery, it's rather perfect if you want to listen to, if not read, a rather horrifying, yet rather sad tale for this Halloween.
I think there was a slight awkward pause. Very slight, but it does need to be fixed. Oh, excuse me.
Tale for this Halloween. And oh boy.
Yep. It's already starting to look like I need to leave that live action section where I have it.
This Halloween.
Okay.
Oh boy. To the lost narrator.
Okay. This should be good. I hope. But this is why we're gonna double check no matter what.
Boy, the lost narrator.
Oops. Yep, I did it again. And now I got that song in my head. Great. I mean, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the Britney Spears song, Oops, I Did It Again. It was pretty popular for its time, but when you actually get to the meaning of the song, oh dear.
Oh boy, do the Lost Narrator and Magpie Pony
Ooh.
really deliver in that aspect.
Whoops. Deliver. The last word is deliver.
Really deliver in that kind of.
Oops. Let's hope this is right.
In that kind of.
You know what? Worst comes to worst, I'll cut off an inch at a time.
Deliver in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it an inch at a time. But at least I am near the very end. Like, few seconds end. I guess I can't get any lower than that.
Deliver.
Uh-huh.
Deliver in that aspect of the stories.
Okay. Cut. Wait a minute.
In that aspect of the story.
Oh. I guess I did that twice. Don't know why I did, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain. And let's see if this works.
Really deliver in that aspect of the story.
And is that the end? Yep, that is the end. Which means, now that all that's taken care of, and this is why I did not remove that yet. Oh, wait, duh. That's my bad. There we go. And now to remove what's well, actually, hold on. Let me listen to what's left in here, just in case. I doubt it, but you never know. Huh. I guess that was it. Well, at least I finally finished this portion of the editing. Keyword, this portion. There we go. And now the video will only be about 32.5 minutes. Still below an hour, which means it's a whole lot better than before. Because nothing for nothing, all together with the unedited version of the audios, this was going close to pretty much 2 hours. Alright, now. Gotta find reversion. Bingo. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's see, where is... Here we go. Because, again, I'm going to be using only the song portion of this thing. make sure it's in the correct spot. And I was right. There is enough to do this whole song and some of the Forever Lost.
And while technically it's considered a My Little Pony fanfic,
oops.
is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series.
Ooh, that is very close.
And the number one Halloween special for this year is The Tale of the Lost Narrator.
Ooh, almost. Because I wanted the song to start exactly when I start reading the title.
Here is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series.
Perfect.
By The Lost Narrator. And while technically it's considered a My Little Pony fanfic, good lord, this is such an original story in its...
Now that sounds rather nice. It's not too loud, but you can still hear myself and the music. In fact, maybe before that, I should, what level of volume was that set at? S 16.6. Well, minus 16.6. 6. Oops. Oh, it's already at... Oh. 16.6. 16.6. 16.6. 16.6. That's me. 16.6. And I'm getting a phone call. Be right back. And I'm back. Sorry. Thankfully, that was a very brief phone call. Yeah, I'm going a little backwards with this, but if I want to get this right, I want to at least be able to, 16.6. 16.6. Now I thought I'd be grateful for, unintentionally figuring out the proper volume. I'm probably gonna still have to review the whole video before I upload it though. Because again, I want to make sure that okay, that one I purposely left loud. Sorry. Ended up getting a text message to do something later. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, talk about laziness in many ways. Yeah, let's leave it at that level. Because, to be fair, that particular video was pretty loud. Okay. Thank goodness some of these videos I actually leave just playing. Because honestly, there's no point in just cutting them into pieces. Literally. Let's see. Pyromancers. Oh, I forgot about that one. Because I did end up stumbling upon a particular version, or at least the music video of the Come Little Children. Oh boy, did that throw me into a loop. Like a really, really big loop. Okay. Oh, I'm on number 10. I'm already making progress. That's a screenshot. Because at the time, again, I wanted to give off information, especially since, depending on how long it's been, or what changes happened, I wanted to make sure the viewers could actually see what's been changed and what was staying the same. And I may raise my own volume, but again, that's only after I maybe review everything. Because I also have to still be able to hear myself, but still allow the viewer to hear everything that's going on. Nope. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just 5 more to go. Well, 5 more sections to go, I should say. Oh, okay. I left that loud again. Okay, good. Thankfully, not all these pieces are in pieces. Okay. Now that's just the pictures, because it was actually a fanfic that I stumbled upon. Ooh, and there's just 2 more sections. There we go. That's a live action. Oop. Didn't mean to mute. Again. There we go. And now we're gonna get to, well, almost the rest of this. Now let's see, where is Forever Lost? Because that is the other song, since now that I know that the whole... Oh, I should probably cut this out. In fact, let me mute this real quick. Because depending, I will have to cut off a section where it's quiet. Okay. Remove. And... boom. There. I'll still have to test it later, but... D... F... Oh! Did I just get the song for that?
Bum bum be-dum bum bum be-dum bum bum bum.
Yep, that is just a song. In fact...
its own is still beautiful, but then Magpie Pony lost narrative.
There we go. Move and leave gap.
At least as of this year, have been created for said series. The first one being Reversion, which, interestingly enough, was at first an instrumental created by Miyuji, and at least on its own, is still beautiful. But then Magpie...
Yeah, you see what I mean? I mean, I know you guys probably heard it very, very briefly, but... yeah, it's definitely one of those moments where you definitely need to, lower the volume, so to speak. There we go. You know what?
In short, well, as I have said before, this is more or less a My Little Pony fanfic. Oh boy, to the Lost Narrator and Magpie Pony really deliver in that aspect of the story. And that was this year's Top 20 Halloween special. And at least so far, other than the tipping tombstones earlier, at least there have been no shenanigans this year. A little bit there, a little bit here. That's gonna be great. And yeah, I know I kind of derailed.
Okay, that should be enough. Well, now that I think about it, let's leave it silent. Okay. And move this. Oh, there we go. Because maybe at least this way, this will get the viewers to be curious about the rest of the song. Let's see how it goes.
It might be good for all I know, but at the same time, think about that! In short, well, as...
Oh, whoops. I forgot about this. And unfortunately, I had noticed, at least when I went to get back to this, that apparently there were some sections where, during the live section of the review, the number of the list was stuck on it. What the hey? Oh, for goodness sakes, I did it again! Leave gap. And just to see how well it transitions.
In itself, it's not only quite original in its concept and characters, but the music and the imagery is rather perfect if you want to listen to, if not read, a rather horrifying yet rather sad tale for this Halloween. And oh boy, to the Lost Narrator and Magpie Pony really deliver in that aspect of the story. And that was this year's top...
That'll work. And let's save. And now, to actually get to the imagery of this section. Because I kid you not. This part should be easy because I'm only using certain scenes or whatnot for this section since I don't want to give away too much of it. Okay, now let me see. Magic Wand, no. Record, no. Rotten Apples. Though funny enough, that was one of their side stories or read-alouds they did. Aha! That's one. I'm gonna put that one there. I think there's... Aha! Tale of the Lost Narrator. That is... Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Let me see. There was maybe one or two others, I think. Let's see. Reversion. That's the lightning effect, or one of them. Nope. Nope. Did Forever Lost. Well, the music at least. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. No Rest for the Wicked. Still a good song to this day. Cameron look-alike. Although, I kid you not, that kid really is something of a look-alike. Beloved's Curse. Oh, Story Within. That's another one. And I will probably have to, do my thing with the... Well, you'll see. And just in case... Yep, that was all. Now, to, let's see. Story Written in ink. Okay, that's... Oh, that's why I grabbed them. Because of each section where I explained... Okay, that's what I did. Well, first, let's, unlink the audios. And I do mean all the audios. That's, boom. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. Boom. Boom. And now to, remove. Thank goodness I figured out. Okay, now. First, these three, because I want to focus on a good scenery. Not that. That's really dark. Almost. No. Nope. At least not in that portion. Aha. Here we go. This... Oh, I think I got an idea. I think. Because again, I am not going to reveal too much. And thankfully, two of them have stilled images where it slowly becomes very, very creepy. Now that section I may save for when I reach part 4 or final segment. Okay. Let's put this here for now. In fact, maybe when I get to this scenes or these scenes, I should maybe put in a warning. Well, some sort of warning. I'll figure it out.
Here is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series by the...
Whoops. Wouldn't work if I didn't have it.
Halloween special for this year is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series by The Lost Narrator. And while technically it's considered a My Little Pony fanfic, good lord, this is such an original story in itself that I'm honestly amazed that this thing didn't get turned into a book series of some kind.
Aha! Okay. Too much blackness, because they do have the moments where the screen is completely black.
one Halloween special for this year is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series by the Lost...
Okay, let me move this further. Just a little bit. Because I wanted to start showing right at...
And the number one Halloween special for this year is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series by the Lost Narrator.
Perfect! That's
while
perfect!
Technically, it's considered a My Little Pony fanfic. Good lord, this is such an original story in itself that I'm honestly amazed that this thing didn't get turned into a book series of some kind. The interesting part of this series, though, is that while the first video was uploaded in 2015, the story itself actually continued on each October, at least up until 2018, where we obviously come to the conclusion of said series. And this series is so popular that not only have they done a podcast to explain the process of the story, but they also, at least as of this year, have done 2 songs to basically honor said series. On each October, at least up until 2018, where we
just in case.
Come to the conclusion of said series. And this series is so popular that not only have they done a podcast to explain the process of the story, but they also, at least as of this year, have done 2 songs to basically honor said series. But we'll get to that in a little bit. In the first video...
Okay, so... Hopefully it's not going to be too much. I mean, I know this section isn't creepy, but I wanted to at least have some safety. Okay.
Interesting part of this series, though, is that while the first video was uploaded in 2015, the story itself actually continued on each October, at least up until 2018, where we obviously come to the conclusion of said series. And this series is so popular that not only have they done a podcast to explain the process of the story, but they also, at least as of this year, have done 2 songs to basically honor said series. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay. Move and leave gap. This is where going up. Okay, just to make sure though, I actually got it set.
Halloween special. As a story or an audio play?
Yeah, I was trying to do a raise eye.
And the number one Halloween special for this year is The Tale of the Lost Narrator series by the Lost Narrator. And while technically it's considered a My
Good. Now, the Beloved and this. Now, oh. Oh, this might actually be a better section. Just a little bit, though. In fact, I should put a warning right in the beginning. Now that I think about it. Because nothing. Even the imagery, even if it's singular during the first few specials, they did become pretty gruesome. Let's leave it at that. So, after I do this, let me copy.
And while technically it's considered a story of the Tale of the Lost Narrator series by The Lost Narrator.
Warning. Scenes of blood / gore is imminent? How do you spell imminent? Give me a moment. Thank God for this stain. Whoops. Later on. Yeah, whatever. Oh! Imminent. Oh, wow. I actually spelled it right? Wait. Okay, so it's the right term at least. Because it is pretty imminent, more or less. And the stupid app is not working again. Go figure. Okay.
And while
Okay, there we go.
Story of the Tale of the Lost Narrator, it basically tells the story of Curse Word, a librarian who would tell stories to the little foals, discovers her strange yet dangerous power when she inadvertently causes an incident with one of the foals. And because of this, she becomes so afraid that she tries her best not to awaken that power again. Only later on, she ends up using it in the worst way possible against someone she deeply cared for. And later on in the story, she becomes a rather legendary mare herself as she wanders all over Equestria telling rather gruesome stories, while at the same time using her dark gift to basically kill ponies. The second video...
Okay. Might be a good thing it didn't completely... I mean, maybe. I don't know. Although this may get them curious. Though, again, not something I would promote to kids. Okay, do that. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. What the hey? Over. Oh, sweet niblets, I get it now.
Wanders all over Equestria telling rather gruesome stories, while at the same time using her dark gift to basically kill ponies.
Talk about a brain dead moment. At least now I get why... Oh, for goodness sake, not this again. We do this. At least worse comes to worse. Yep. There it is. But at least it's a very small moment. Move and leave gap. Because I kid you not, when you put in remove and fill gap, it actually moves everything on that line. And you don't want to do that when editing your videos. Okay, now for the second portion. After I, well, remove the, this, line of footage from the first Tale of the Lost Narrator. Which I admit, it's still impressive to this day to me. Though I should, watch it again one of these days. There we go. Ooh. Forgot about that one. Or at least some of the imagery on that. Okay, now, this one is the sad one, and... Wait, does it involve... Oh, yes, it does. It does involve changing imagery. I just gotta find the right point where it stays sweet, but becomes dark. In fact, does it grow dark in... Nope. Oop. You know what? What the hey? Oh. Oh, dang. I forgot that was part of the... You know what? You know what? Let me cut some of this out. Because, you know what? That would be perfect for at least some of the description of part 1. I could always go back for the part 2 section. But for now, let's do this. Hey, okay. Oh, nope. I forgot. That one got removed a bit. Ooh. So, let's see. What would be a good point?
With one of the foals. And because of this, she becomes so afraid that she tries her best not to awaken that power again. Only later on. Only later on, she ends up using it in the worst way possible against someone she deeply cared for. And later on in the story, she becomes a rather legendary mayor herself as she wanders.
Holy cow, that was actually perfect!
And because of this, she becomes so afraid that she tries her best not to awaken that power again. Only later on, she
I mean, I'm not leaving this imagery, but this might work out. Especially since, even though this is technically from a different video, this might get others to, get really curious. Possibly. Move and leave gap. Plop right here. Remove and leave gap. Again. Aha. And let us get to that might do. And boom. Oh, maybe not. Well, you know what? Let me keep that section no matter what. Okay. At least I'm getting there. At least I am getting there. Especially since I'm at the nearly the 3-hour mark, and it's past 11 o'clock, and technically I still have to do the dishes. Ugh. Ooh. Ooh, that's actually good. Okay. Keep that. Remove and leave gap. Remove. At least, thankfully, this is the last some of the last portion of this video. So maybe off stream, when I'm done with my chores and everything, I can at least listen to each section, just in case I still need to maybe raise the volume on my end. And then begin the downloading process, but have it set to start at a certain time tomorrow. Like the premieres or whatever. Or premieres, that's what it's called.
The second video slash story is actually told in the perspective of the beloved she inadvertently hurt. And her version of the story brings about a far different perspective to what happened to the bull, as well as how Curseword ended up finding now her strange and dangerous gift in the first place. The next story is
Ooh, that was actually really quick.
Her strange and dangerous gift in the first place.
That is quick. And you know what? I'll take it. There we go. Wait a minute.
The next story is, I would consider this as a mix between a prologue and an intermission story.
Oh, shoot. I think I goofed up no matter what. Let me quickly... No. There we go. No. A story written in ink. Wait, it's... Oh! Stained Memories. That's what it was. Stained Memories. In fact, do I have that here? It'd be under S. T. S. There it is! I can't believe I forgot about that one. But at least I remembered. You know what? Let me put that back. Aha. Since I removed one of the two videos, boom. Now, actually, I could just raise this up a bit. Oh, no I can't. My bad. Unlink. In fact, let me bring this up. And remove. Oh, forgot about that. This one is going to be a little tricky because I need to find the exact perfect spot to not only cut or begin, but not remove too or reveal too much that it ruins the story. Oh. Okay, that's what's going on. What the? Wait, is this when? Okay, so... Okay. Oh, that's what... this one's gonna be a bit heartbreaking, but I think I can make this work. Because, again, I don't want to reveal too much. There we go. Okay. And I can at least combine some of the scenes in this. Oh, wait. Okay. Remove. Leave gap. Boom. Oh. Oh. So there's actually a section where... Oh, okay. Okay. Cut. And... almost cut. In fact, let's cut here. Because again, I don't want to reveal too much. Move and leave gap. Ugh. Okay. Nope. Okay. Whoop. Well, that will work no matter what. There we go. Oh, perfect. And remove gap. Okay. Let's remove this and remove... Actually, no. Okay, now. This should be safe to, actually... I can't believe I'm considering this, but... And... oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is what happens when you don't click on the image. Or film. There we go. Again, I may have to cut a good portion of that off, but it should be good enough to at least get to a starting point. And we have officially reached the 3 hour mark. Oh, there's actually enough room up here to, okay, there we go.
The next story is, I would consider this as a mix between a prologue and an intermission story, since it's basically a little bit more of a look into far more to what happened the night.
Okay, that should be good, because let's face it, that prologue part definitely was not that long. I know, I'm probably revealing a bit more in this section, but it is something more of a build-up to how they improve the films. Well, stories, videos, however you want to look at it. Here we go, and just in case... Yep.
first place. The next story is, I would consider this as a mix between a prologue and an intermission story, since it's basically a little bit more of a look into the beloved's past and what caused her to do the things she did in the previous story, as well as at least a little later on during Hearts and Hooves Day. The fourth part of the
Ooh, you know what? That's perfect. Because still leaves a bit of a mystery. And it does not reveal too much. Okay, good. Good. And probably might as well, because that might be telling too much. Okay, next one is... Aha! Story Within. That's the next part. Not that much. Now this one's going to be a little bit tricky. Because again, I don't want to reveal too much of the video itself. Let's see. No? No. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what happens here. No. Wait, what? Oh, nope. Yeah, as I said, there's a reason that I would say that this series would be, more close to adults than kids. For a very, very good reason. Especially considering that the fourth or the final story that I mentioned, it's yeah, it's ooh. Still might cut off a little bit of each section, but whoops. In fact, I think I might have cut off a bit too much for that section. Just a little bit though. In fact, let's play. Okay. That much could be used. And boom. Still twisted how this pony even got like that. Ooh, perfect. Fact, that's perfect. And boom. Boom. Now to move this with the rest. Though, again, I probably will be removing quite a bit of images to make it fit before the final portion of the story I'll describe. Oh, I'm definitely going to cut off a bit. fact, let me do that right now. Especially since it'll give me an idea of how much to add or replace. Well, not add, but you get my point.
The story is, interestingly enough, told by the perspective of the foal's mother, who we learn in this story far more than what we were told by the beloved.
Oh, whoops. I guess I didn't get all of it. Oh, wait. Oh, that is right. Okay. Okay, good.
Mother, who we learn in this story far more than what we were told by the beloved, and I do mean far more.
Okay. Cut. Move. Move over.
To the point where not only do viewers realize what really happened the night the foal died, but that the lost narrator, aka curse word, is not the only monster who now...
Ooh. 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 I just came up with an idea. I'm still probably gonna have to cut some of that, but... Where's that one section?
To the point where not only do viewers realize what really happened the night the foal died, but that the lost narrator...
That'll do. That'll do as a marker. Good. Good, 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 good.
AKA curse word is...
Oh, whoops. Not the right marker, but at least I have a better idea where it is, and it's already been made.
Is not the only monster who now prowls Equestria. And then the last two...
Why do I have a feeling I needed to put a pause on that? I probably did. Oh well. To each his own, I guess. Or live and learn, in my case. Okay, now. Remove and leave gap. Put this here. Well, if I could get it in right. There we go. In fact... Let's cut. Move to the side. Perfect.
Mother, who we learn in this story far more than what we were told by the beloved, and I do mean far more. To the point where not only do viewers realize what really happened the night the foal died, but that the lost narrator, aka curse word, is not the only monster who now prowls Equestria. And then
Okay. So far, so good. Literally the last section, and then put in whatever leftover image into the rest of the video, and then I am done. Though unfortunately that also means I can't do a game because, again, I've reached past the 3-hour mark, and I do have to do chores before I head to bed. Oh, it would probably help if I put the images on top. My bad. There we go. This is the last section. God, that's creepy. Then again, that's the point of this story. Like, really the point of this story. Ooh. This might work. At least a section of it. Then remove and leave gap. Because again, the most part is actually going to be the final battle, so to speak. Ooh. Ooh. Let's do this. What? Let's leave this much in. Although, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Do that. Move and leave gap. Pull this over. Wait. Yeah, no. We are not, using that. Either way, remove and leave gap. Because might as well keep the viewers curious. Alright, that should be enough, because, again, I don't want to reveal too much. Just bring this over. Alright, and... No... Nope. Oh, bingo! Alright, now... Alright. Not quite. Aha! This should do. Because again, I don't want to reveal too much. Hey. There we go. Wait, oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, guess I didn't. Okay. At least I caught that. Wait, what? Ah, there we go. In fact... let's head back towards the end again. Maybe... oh, wait a minute. Ooh. Perfect. That is perfect. Not only is it practically a perfect ending scene to the section, but it leaves them questioning if that was the ending or a different part of it. Ooh. This is so perfect. Okay. And remove. And leave gap. Wait, shoot! You see what I mean? That's exactly what happens when you don't pay attention to what you click on. Because what I just did there was accidentally remove and fill gap. And that's what caused everything at the bottom to start moving towards the other side. But click on remove and leave gap, it stays put. This is why, people, you gotta pay attention to what you click on. Especially in video editing. Because you never know when you end up doing a goof up and you'll have to redo the whole thing by the time you realize the mistake, but it's unfortunately uploaded already. But at least other than that, especially since it is left on a very
Really
good
deliver in that aspect of the story.
Oh, that was even better!
And that was this year's top.
Oh, I am excited. I kid you not, I am excited now. In fact, at least just to make sure everything is set up properly.
I doubt at least the current generation would actually recognize. I mean, to be honest, I even kind of squealed when the little gremlin showed up.
Okay, I can still be heard on that section. What about number 4? Because again, I do have to make sure I'm actually heard.
In here, the inverted Shadow and his sister, I Am Shadow, are basically playing the game, and even I have to say, this is surprisingly done well. Like, to the point where
Okay, so far so good. Let's see, number 5, which was the mashup.
Oh boy, are you really gonna be impressed by this one. As the title says, it's a mashup.
Good. And number 6.
Top hits, though it is for a very good reason. The singer Pino Hollins plays
Number 7.
They're doing it in a somewhat goofy way, and the other, at least a couple of the rules are actually
this version of Come Little Children
beautifully well, even if still somewhat frightening. The music video, oh good brave girl, 3000, which also admittedly she's also done in the past with several others, at least a couple times. But this time, she's actually doing this with over 10 years ago, and it was originally uploaded on Newgrounds. At least before Scoot, the guy who created this, uploaded on YouTube about 2 years later. And story-wise, even though it only mentions Halloween once, Scoot and his friends are basically living in a apocalyptic another world situation.
Yeah, I honestly could not say the word, and since I actually found that funny, I actually left it in there.
Basically, she's about to get ready to actually go out to enjoy herself when all of a sudden...
Okay.
Narrated by Mr. Creepypasta, but once again was all phenomenal job portraying Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo in this.
Okay, that's set up right. And funny enough, that is part of the Lost Narrator series.
They did a phenomenal job with this. And not just because...
Come to think of it, did I get all the pieces? Yes, I did.
Either way, while it can also act as something of a cautionary tale when you look at it a different way, this story... I say this one actually gave me nightmares. It's actually the story of a gamer who loved with this song. And it wasn't even just for the Halloween. She actually wrote this for her own daughter.
Okay.
Audio drama, a fanfic based on Rainbow Factory. Another interesting turn. In short, a group of bronies and Pegasisters enter and haunt.
Okay, now to make sure this is all correct, in volume-wise, because you never know. 16. Perfect. And with that, I am going to consider this done. Which means it is the end of tonight's stream. Which I apologize that there was no game. And the kill of it is, I did have a backup for just in case, but this was what I was also expecting, since, again, this section, the last section of the video was way over 10 minutes, and considering that the whole thing is actually close to an hour, yeah, safe to say that, considering how long it took to edit the sound, my audio section alone, there was no way I was going to be able to get to the game. And the kill of it is, especially since it was going to be something of a celebration for the FNAF movie that came out, which, by the way, let's just say it definitely shows very much promise by even the commercials alone. It was also something that I was curious to try, which was, Pogo Arcade, I think it's called? I mean, I figured why not, and it would be a good way to finish off the Halloween streams, as small amount as there was this month. Though, again, life happens, and there was no way I could control that. But, who knows? Maybe next time I'll actually get to this game, if not something else. But for now, I believe it's time for a raid. So, let us see who is on. Whoop. Did not mean to click on that. There we go. And, you know what? Let's do this. Because sometimes, even when I got my Twitch channel up, which, by the way, is really just to make sure everything's working, I just leave it on for the heck of it. The people who are on, it's, doesn't always stay correct. Let's see. Who should we raid? You know what? Shiva's on. Let's do her. Or them. You're gonna have to forgive me. I mean, I know everybody's got their own pronouns, but it's hard for me to even remember what they prefer sometimes if I'm not used to it. Especially since, for all I know, the reason why I also try to refer others as them, at least until they tell me otherwise, is because I don't want to end up insulting them if I basically call them a girl, but it turns out they see themselves as a boy, or they actually are a boy, or you get my point. Anyway, let us do the raid message, which will actually be a simple Happy Halloween. Oh, no pumpkin? Darn. What about Halloween? Of course. They got Christmas stuff up, but not Halloween? Well, that's a bunch of hogwash. Well, either way, I guess we're sticking to the wings. So, happy... You know what? We're gonna be a little stinker for this one. All Hallows Eve. Because believe it or not, that's what the holidays used to be called, or at least one of the names it carried. There we go. I'm gonna copy, and now, boom. There's my raid message. Probably solo, but you know what? That's okay. So, raid Shiva Bleep Goddess, and boom. Well, for those who came in, I do thank you for joining, even though this was more for editing than playing games, but it was Halloween themed, and honestly, as I said before, this was a video that is long overdue, and hopefully after this, I can actually get back to the not only the swing of things, but the actual reviewing the web series, because I really do want to do that again, especially since part of the reason I want to go back to it, I really want to do a review on a particular series that I'll admit I've been getting into lately, but the other, I kind of miss it, because I used to have a lot of fun doing it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Especially with how, let's face it, nutty our lives can be. But until then, and at least until the next stream, which will probably be Thursday, I hope you all have a good night. You all stay safe. And this is Ashley Winsong, signing off and wishing you a happy Halloween.